into a good AOG, echoes into a Throne of Ruin. That could have been telegraphed, but 3mar has a little extra leeway because he's got better hitboxes.
Also makes it easier to land those. Exactly.
Yep.
I love it.
Extra vision.
Extra
boy, you're already walking away with a Mountain Shocker. Liquid have to figure it out.
That's good damage.
It's a traditional gold laner. It's not a marksman, but it's an old gold laner. Great start for Liquid. What do they give Daddy JP?
What's the roam, man? What's the roam looking like here?
A Grizzok?
Grok
Khalid.
Rises when I give the word.
It is a Khalid. There you go.
I like it. This is
good. It's good.
Very Liquid coded. They can go fast. They can play hard in the early. Benny Cutie.
What about this though?
So no CC.
Maybe he thinks to break through the Fredrin.
Cho.
Does he want to go fighter still here?
He can go Granger, it doesn't matter.
Granger feels like okay.
But is that enough of a front line? He might go fighter. I think this is a fighter.
All right, let's see. We could see the Cho. I might still, I might like that, especially if Zyda gets going.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
I think it's utility. There has to be some extra utility in Benny's pick, not just pure damage.
That's a Granger. All right.
Never mind.
He went classic, which we kind of expect anyway.
I think this is because of that Harith pick. They needed someone to keep.
Guys, how we feeling? Bring it up. I know. You're thinking 7 games here. Renmar probably is too.
Yep.
I don't know. What do we think for game 1?
I will say this now. What I'm thinking isn't in line with what I want. What I want is 7. What I'm thinking is 5 at most, but I hope we get the full distance. For this game number 1, though, I was hoping that TNC would have committed for the 5/3 gold. Yes, it would have been high risk. They would have been lacking range, but they already had the Novaria and the Wise has to funnel into. But the Granger is the safer choice, and there might be some good counterplay here. If they're careful, there is always that inevitable power spike that you'll have to meet when you're up against Khalid and the Harith.
I agree, especially with what going back Renmar mentioned about him not being sure if what he wants or what he thinks are the same thing heading into this series.
Hey, that's just how life is sometimes, but this series specifically, being the echoes from the past and just the amount of history between these two teams and the individual players, like across from them. I mean, it's a star-studded lineup on both sides, but even when it comes down to like what they've been through, what they've accomplished, and what this could possibly mean. I know we're a ways from it, but if TNC is able to take down another juggernaut here, mind you, their journey, their trip throughout the playoffs even, they've gone the distance every single time. Now, I would say, even if we get 5 games, 6 maybe, and then 7, regardless of the outcome of that, TNC did a hell of a job.
Oh, that's the Purify already used by Sanji too, but could they possibly punish Chapnu here? Doesn't have the Revitalize anymore, but I don't think they have the resources to finish off the kill.
Okay, so Chapnu did not actually use his Revitalize, so that means they still have that strong utility. The Team Liquid Philippines, other than getting that kill, really wanted to get that Revitalize off of the Gatan Kante. Chapnu!
Once more, that's gonna be first blood!
Wow.
But Zyda, can he get a trade on JP though? Quick Sandguard still ready.
I guess he wasn't expecting that first. He didn't even use the Revitalize.
Yeah, I don't think he needed to stand that front. And now the risk is now Team Liquid Philippines just invading Zyda's jungle. He'll be able to get his purple buff without a problem. Chapman needs to be a little bit more careful when trying to provide space. I know he's holding that minion wave so that Lancey and Zyda can comfortably clear it, but he could have just let it go through instead of giving that first death, especially giving it to Khalid right now. Is it the best idea? Or maybe just use that Revitalize, man. You guys weren't even going to commit into the turtle anyway.
Yeah, I think we've seen that play come in from Chapnu a couple of times even yesterday.
Yep.
He likes to really stay in the mid lane as long as he can. I think even, or especially before the first objective, Crimson Beacon though from Sanji. And again, it's probably because of the priority, the amount of priority they have in the mid lane or in the amount of space that they want to create for Lancey. Maybe all the more now that he's on the Novaria.
Yeah, speaking about Lancey, this is a debut pick for him this season, but this was his old signature back in MPL Philippines Season 12 when he was still playing with Minana Evos back in the day. This was one of his constant picks, and he does really well with it. Hopefully we get to see a glimpse or another look again at why that Novaria was banned away from Minana Evos back then.
Yeah, we might even, hold on, this is right in the mid. There's a whole lot being thrown out here. Are they going to still go or do they disengage? 3Mar's drawn in, but I think you just back off of this. A whole lot of nothing happening in mid. So again, with Lancey specifically, I'm actually surprised that you brought that up because for some reason, I was thinking he had played it this season already. He hasn't, though. But that might be the case here because I think this is already a picture of you're not going to build any more MMR on your Lunox Lancey, unfortunately, unless it slips through one game and TLPH just has an answer for that Lunox that's popped up so many times now in the past couple of days. We'll see what TNC does here. Second turtle of the game is coming up. Gold Lane's doing a thing. They're going 1v1 all day. Benny Cutie is, I think he's maintaining the lead at least for now, probably just by a little bit. We'll have to see what the gold difference is there between our gold laners. But looking into the second turtle, they're in position. It's up to TNC to get in here.
A slight advantage, maybe even. Lancey doesn't have his flicker. Sanford already going in with the bravest fighter, but Carl only gets to prioritize the turtle. Look at the Throne of Ruin, though, coming in from 3mar. It got 4 members, and now Liquid have to run away. Appraiser's Draft committed over there. Even the Zaman Force from OHEB, they're still fighting back. OHEB's fighting back. The Gleam was forced out of 3mar.
Yeah, that was a great read by OHEB, knowing that even if there were 4 members of TNC surrounding him, they couldn't have handled the Harith at this point with the Zaman Force. Have to commend 3mar. Perfect entry there with the Throne of Ruin. I thought the Astral Echo from Lancey came in a little bit too early, but I believe he just used it to get more vision. I wish we could have seen it timed a little bit closer to the entry of the Alice to really maximize the Throne of Ruin even more. But at this point, this is just me nitpicking. That was still a great approach by these two.
Yeah, and so with this, that's 2 turtles in the hands of TLPH. We know they like to play this game. They'll maintain this a little bit of lead. Whoa!
Whoa, an aggressive flicker from Sanford. Sanji's there too. San duo with a bit of help from Carl. Take down Zaida all alone in the jungle.
I was going to say, they like to play this game, and when they have the lead, they'll continue to press on it. Now, they just did that in the jungle of Zaida.
Yeah, rotational misread, which is why now you see TNC trying to compensate by forcing back the Harith. And let's see if they'll be able to take down this tower. OHEB commits Zaman Force.
Astral Echo reveals 2. Sanji comes joining 2. However, the damage from the Star Shutter was a bit too much. JP and Sanji, do they still want to fight this? They will have to walk away. Not even Carl might try and join this fight down bottom, but Benny Cutie still trying to go for it. Crimson Beacon already forced out.
All right, they even things out. Lancey saved that sequence. The Star Shadow was perfect. If they did not get that kill on the Harith, but only got the turret, would have been meh. But since they got the kill and the turret, great comeback for TNC. However, still a 1,000 gold lead for Team Liquid Philippines. TNC needs to heavily contest this turtle and minimize losses. While Liquid, they have a very stable formation. Yes, OHEB died, but the items are still locked in for him. He still has resources, and now he has Zaman Force again.
Yeah, this is a little bit better too. I think this Radiant armor picked up by Chaknu will help him in a way. Do they want to go for this turtle? They do want to contest it. Conceal's going to be used. Carl TZ needs to be pushed off.
Oh my goodness! Carl TZ with the retribution, taking away the objective. 3mar though with Throne of Ruin. That's going to the trade. Sanford trying to sustain. OHEB going into the Zaman Force, and the raging Sandstorm from JP just in time. Chaknu will fall too, and that's a double for OHEB.
TNC really needed to commit that fight, even though it was risky. So what happened there was Team Liquid Philippines split themselves into 1-2-2. 2 members in the mid, 2 members in the turtle pit, 1 up top. JP's pressure up top means there's a little bit more damage done at the turret because it was him pushing the wave. When you have a Lapu-Lapu and the Fredrin together, you can afford to just send both of them to hold the turtle, hold the objective, and then they can win that out. TNC needed to commit that play, but they were just outplayed by the late entry of JP.
Yeah, and I was even worrying if he could make it, but knowing that this is a Khalid, surprisingly the Raging Sandstorm was just made it in time, and it didn't even feel like TNC had enough time to burst the objective if even they wanted to.
Yeah, again, TNC's just lacking some of the firepower here. This kind of lineup, too, needs to go ahead and build up. Whoa, hold on. Is Sands going to be okay with that? Unbreakable?
Oh, probably not. Throne of Ruin and the Star Shutter's there. OHEB won't even try committing the Zaman Force anymore. At least TNC get 1 kill from Liquid there.
I'm so surprised that TLPH... Oh, hold on. JP's in trouble.
But they actually get 2, but Sanford's still going to jump in.
Sanford?
He has Carl by his side, and he only targets Benny. Carl TZ still going in, energy eruption onto 3, forcing out the flicker from Lancey. But Zaida, he's going after, but OHEB's going after Zaida. And Zaida fortunately had the traceless, but oh man.
I think Sanford felt something to the flex off before we got into the game, man. He went right for Benny.
Yeah, that was a bicep curl of Landshaker if I've ever seen one. Perfect entry, perfect distance He committed the flicker there. It was right on the money. And of course, the late entry by Oheb stopped Zyda from being able to help. So now you see TNC Pro Team and one of their best qualities for this season, forcing out fights when you least expect it to. Only one other team we attribute that factor to, and it's Omega.
Yes.
But Team Liquid Philippines, they are countering.
Oh no, Sanford could not move. Carl TZ might be the next target here as the front. Sanji and Oheb will have to reposition themselves, but that's one member down for Liquid before this potential Lord fight.
And that's a major member down. We'll see if TNC can capitalize on it. Sanji also less than half health, but look at JP's positioning. He's got a flicker available. TNC has to respect that. They won't pressure the Lord just yet. They need to continue to build up. This is a good item pickup too for Benny Cutie. He's now got the Malefic Roar. 3 items locked in for him. You're starting to see Lancey's damage also scale up. That's what we expect here. But again, you can see Sanford seems to be a big problem. He's a main part of the damage output that's coming out from TLPH. They still get control to start up the Lord though. TNC is going to stare it down. We have to keep an eye. Chaknu's going to pop the conceal. They're going to go.
Oh, he uses the Unbreakable. Sanji's half HP. Carl still secures the Lord. And now the fight continues. Side, unfortunately, will be falling for TNC. Chaknu has nowhere to run to as well. And now the target is going to be 3 Mar. 4 members, actually 5 on him. And fortunately has the Gleam, but they lose 2 in the process.
JP and Sanford was blocking off the entry of Zyda. Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to make it to that Lord to get the retribution off, but the fact that he showed himself close to the fight, JP and Sanford were ready right away, blasted him immediately, and suddenly massive lead for Team Liquid Philippines. You're just seeing Team Liquid out-SQ TNC every time, and it looks like they've really looked at all of the tendencies of TNC Pro Team when it comes to the objective takes, because they are blocking off all the entry points every time.
They're doing it so well by also just splitting up TNC. You know that 3 Mar wants to jump forward with the Alice. He wants to be able to get that Throne of Ruin off. So he's already separating himself from the rest of the team. Now if they're blocked, especially by JP or even Carl to an extent, they can't follow through on that setup that's coming out from 3 Mar, and that's a big problem for TNC on trying to actually utilize the damage they have. Meanwhile, this is one of the downsides about Novaria. Obviously, there's this window of you're not really doing much except going on for those shots, those shatters, or the setups here. And so when you don't have that, in comparison to like a Jushin, right, for Sanji, he's just dropping down the lantern 24/7. Like that's what he does, right? Yeah. He's constantly going for it. So TNC, that's why I was saying they need more time to be able to build up, but then they have to be able to actually go into a team fight with an upper hand. TLPH is doing such a good job though at stopping that from even happening.
Yeah, looking at the items, already up to a Guardian helmet for Carl TZ. He didn't full build the Cursed helmet, he just went for the Molten Essence, while Zyda's around 1,000 gold behind. The 2 gold laners is actually a significant lead for Oheb, already up to the Holy Crystal. So getting that advantage isn't going to be as easy for TNC. And Team Liquid Philippines has been capitalizing on a TNC tendency, which is they want to overcommit right away on the first target they see for objective team fights, already utilizing their resources. Yes, they were able to get a great Astral Echo off of from Lancey, who decided to swing to the back. Astral Echo even got the clip Sanji there with the Star Shatter, but then since they didn't have enough resources because they just used it in the pick beforehand, then TNC Pro Team, the advantage that they really wanted to go for at the beginning was actually what costed them. So I think they need to recalibrate a little bit. Poke the hero down a bit, don't immediately try to burst it down right away.
Yeah, and choices like that, especially in the mid or early to mid stages, might be a bit dangerous because of flying clouds. But Chaknu here, would he even use the AOG? Because 3 Mar decides to go in, catches 4, but Sanford's gonna block everyone else.
Wow.
Chaknu already falls, but they don't care. Sanford's able to do his job.
Sanford does it again. It's been all game, man. It's someone from Team Liquid Philippines just cutting off the damage dealers of TNC.
Yeah, what the 40, bro?
What the 40?
TNC Pro Team, again, the difference of the damage profile between the Lapu Lapu and the Alice. The Alice, yes, you can get a big set off, but you damaging everyone little by little isn't going to be that much of a bother for Team Liquid, while the damage of the Lapu Lapu is dealt in bursts. So it's a different reaction from both that actually favors Team Liquid. 8,400 and climbing in the gold lead. Free Lord, and this is going to be a very tough comeback for TNC.
Tough one to deal with. They're going to try to manage what they can from the base. But even with this kind of lineup, I'm kind of worried here for TNC as they face a 9,000, nearly 9,000 gold deficit. You can see the difference in itemization even.
Oh, man.
So there's quite a bit of a gap here, Renmark.
Yeah, it's already 3 items for the Juicin, already up to the Sky Piercer and even the Blood Wings. Only up to the Magic Lantern there is the Novaria. And already there's a Divine Glaive in the hands of Oheb. Sanford, knowing the lead they had, decided to go for the build that you go for when you have the lead as a Lapu-Lapu, get 2 axes.
Ooh.
Okay, Lord making his way up top. They're going to jump in. Sanji jumps in with a beacon.
Yep.
TNC will try to hold on what they can, but the mid-turn's going to go down here, and 3mar could be in trouble here.
Doesn't have the gleam anymore, but will be using the Throne of Ruin.
Oh,
but
Primar,
looking
why?
at the damage, they already have enough. TNC get to work on defending their base for now, but there's another wave coming in mid. Would they actually still defend this?
Okay, they're down 1. 3mar's a major part of this. Team Liquid might want to potentially have the game.
Oh, JP goes in, he blocks off 4. Chaknu trying to defend as much as he can. Carl Teasy denying Zyda of him being able to throw out those basic attacks.